this is my spiritual take on that anglefish that came up to the surface the other day. It was quite a sight to behold, and definitely symbolism of these changing times, no for the bad but for the good. The fish, being really truly honest, it was kind of a bit of a monster in the way that those fish, they live in the complete darkness. You've seen their teeth, they look like a monster, but also they lure prey in, and they'll like kill and lure prey with false light. So anyone that eats other beings, it's no good thing to be doing. And so animals that are full-blown carnivores that eat other animals, eat them alive, tear them to pieces with their teeth, it's just an awful way to go. And it's actually quite a demonic act to do stuff like that. So that fish, that type of fish living in the darkness, tricking innocent prey into basically being eaten, is no a good thing to be doing. And so that vessel, that anglerfish, was a bit of a monster. It was a predator, and it's no the type of energy or being we want on the earth anymore. As we ascend into the higher frequencies on this earth, we want people and beings who are vegan, like share light and love and want what's best for each other, not ones that are going to purposely trick and trap others into their teeth. Now, you might say it's not the fish's fault. The fish was designed, that's all it was going to eat because that's how it's designed. Yes, well, that is a manifestation of darkness in the night, that type of fish. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. And so that type of fish, the vessel it was in, if that's all it could have eaten was fish and it's got big sharp teeth and that's how it catches its prey, is it that soul's fault, the soul within the fish, that's how they had to live? Well, probably not. It might have got trapped in that type of a vessel somehow in the cycle of reincarnation. No one comes straight from God and goes into being an anglerfish, like a monster at the bottom of the ocean. No, that's not how it goes. You descend into that life form, or you get tricked into that life form if you're a young soul and aren't fully aware. And so did that soul deserve to be in that vessel? I don't know. So that soul was living out the life that it resonated with. So it's no really a good thing. However, this is the big part of it, is that people can go to hell. People can go and experience hell. They can go to hellish planes, not necessarily the eternal place where you can't actually get back, but people can experience types of hell based on what they put themselves through or what they choose. And then people can also ascend back to the heavens again. They can find the light again. Even on this plane, you can be in the darkness and turn to the darkness. And as long as you don't go too far, you can always find the light and come back. And so this fish, this soul, it's almost like the soul was like, I'm fed up of this life. I don't want to be a monster. I don't want to be a predator. I don't want to be harming others. I want to ascend spiritually. I don't want to be in this hellish place anymore. And whether it was like connected and like had guidance, or whether it just like its soul just knew to do this, it's like the soul was like, I want more. I want the real light, not this false light. I want to ascend into the true light, the spiritual light. I want the light. I want God. I want, the higher light. I don't want to live like this anymore. This is what a lot of people go through. It's called like the dark night of the soul. And so what happens is, if you want the true light and know the false light, that's all good, but you do have to make some sacrifices, and you have to sacrifice your old self, your past self, and your past way of living. And so that fish, possibly there was no other way for it to ascend out of that type of vessel and stop doing those types of acts, because that is how it survived. So then, of course, there's nothing it can do but get rid of that vessel so that it can move on and stop doing that. And so maybe it could starve itself to death, but it's more like it went to go and find the true spiritual light, and it sacrificed the vessel it was in, the soul did, because it knew it wanted more and it wanted to ascend spiritually. And because it ended up being such a spiritual symbol to show people that you can you can change, you can let go of the darkness, you can turn to the light, but you have to be willing to let go of that old version of that old self and to turn to the light and sacrifice that old self. I'm not talking physically, everyone has to let go of their vessel, because humans are different. We can actually choose to live a godly life. But animals that are full-blown, possibly carnivores, I don't know whether that one could have survived on just plants in the sea. Animals like that, they will have to go, because that's not the energy that's going to be around in this new earth. And so it sacrificed itself to be like, I want to make a spiritual jump to the higher planes. I want to be better and be more, and I want the true light, and want to turn to the light and sacrifice this old way of being so that I can actually ascend, want to pass on from this plane to the higher planes. And because obviously it was a significant symbol to show us as well that you can turn to the light, you can find the light, you can do good, but you do have to let go of your old self. Then, because so many people have seen it, so many people have been moved by it, it possibly would have had an even bigger shift. It possibly would have had an even bigger shift, and even bigger personal ascension after this plane for doing that.